Let's talk about starting a business in 2026. There's a multitude of businesses that you could start with less than $5,000 operating capital. However, there's one thing that's getting in your way. Right now, you guys are being hit over the head with a ton of false, bad information by people who've never started a business, never hired anyone, never rented an office, know nothing about business. But these people are full of opinions. And this is one of the things that you're facing as you go out and you start to dream about starting your business. And there's a ton of stuff up there. Number one, the economy is really, really bad. People can't find jobs. There's a recession around the corner. Let's talk about recessions. I came out the storage business during the Great Recession when housing was really bad, when housing prices crashed. I made $1 million during the Great Recession because my business was people were looking for deals and I had a business. So a recession or a bad economy does not stop you from making money. It doesn't stop you from making money. But here's the big issue that creates a problem for you. False internet narratives. Now, why do I say false internet narratives? Let me share something with you. Go to your internet browser and put up red pill or men's movements or men who are not getting married, and you will see hundreds, if not thousands of videos that men are walking away from dating, that men are not getting married. Guess what? 5,500 couples per day, 7 days a week get married. 2 million people. So on the internet, the word is that men are not dating, men are not getting married. In real life, men are dating, men are forming relationships, men are falling in love, and men are getting married. So another internet myth, Porsche is struggling to sell cars. Here in Atlanta, Porsche opened not one but 2 new dealerships in the last year. If you're struggling to sell cars, why would you be opening up new dealerships? Okay? So there's the internet narrative, which is rooted in despondency. It's rooted in bad outcomes. It's rooted in it will not work. I saw a video the other day that was titled, "Most married men are fools." Most married men are fools. And it was just talking about when you get married, you give up all this other stuff. And I listened to this stuff and I realized that these men are broken. They're not healthy. They're not loved. They're not in a relationship. They don't know how to deal with women. So they take their anger to the internet. Now, what does this have to do with you starting a business? You think that women are the only place that false narratives are running amok on the internet? No, business. You need business credit. No, you don't. You got to have this. No, you don't. Here's the thing. And I'm going to give you the top thing you need to do with your business. Number one thing you need to do with your business, right? It's not form an LLC. Nope. It's not get a business license. Nope. It's learning how to sell. That's the first thing that you need to learn how to do. You need to learn how to sell, which is something a lot of people don't want to do. I don't want to learn how to sell. Selling's hard. But see, here's the thing. If you get a certain sales job, you can make $1 million a year. Now, here's the thing. The companies that offer those type of commissions are very, very picky on who they hire. They're not just like, hey, I want this sales job. They're not going to hire you. When I got my last sales job, I got it on a referral. And the guy didn't even look at my resume. He asked me 2 questions. How many leads you had? And at the time I had 100. I said, I got 100 that are moving from next few months to about sometime next year. And I started talking about them. And he knew some of these leads because they were chasing the same leads. So he knew my story was legit. And he was like, okay, you can start Monday. Because I had leads. I was in the business. So that's the first thing you need to do is learn how to sell. And that's one of the things that we do in the Royal Prince program. And that's one of the things we do in the Kingdom program. We talk about selling. Right now, we're in the preparatory phase. If you're in the King program, you're going through the AI income engine. And then if you're in the Royal Prince program, you learn how to get your money straight. Let's talk about that. Everybody just thinks right now that if they got their money straight, they would have no issues. Right now, you're hearing that couples who make $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Why? They have bad money management habits, something I have been screaming about for years. You must get your money management stuff together before you start making more money. It's mandatory. It's not optional. It's mandatory so you don't make a whole bunch of money and still be living paycheck to paycheck. Personally, I think it's asinine to maybe make $250,000 or $350,000 or $500,000 or $1 million a year and to be living paycheck to fucking paycheck. That is asinine. Now, typically most people who are making $1 million a year are not living paycheck to paycheck. But typically, this is the thing you got to do. I don't care what kind of business you have. I'll share a story with you with a lady. The most expensive consulting client that I ever had, I charged her $20,000 a month. And what we did is we set up a cleaning company for her. And it was trial and error, a lot of stuff. But now she and her husband own a cleaning company that does $10 million a year. And they hardly ever work. But once again, it took time to get there. Let me just go ahead and give you a news flash. You're not going to start a business that's going to really start making a whole bunch of profit next month unless you get extremely lucky. And some people get extremely lucky. But the reality is you start your business. Like right now, I have a jewelry business. And I'll share some of my frustrations with the jewelry business. I have a thesis for how whatnot works, right? And when I'm fully staffed, my thesis was working. But literally, I've had people get sick. I've had people like the bad employee. I've had people, my star employee, she got attacked. She got attacked and she missed a week because she was in the hospital with concussion. And I'm like, that has been my biggest issue to consistently maintain staffing. So now I have another person who comes on day shift next week. That has been the biggest issue because it's like we'll make gains, and then we'll just slide. We'll just slide backwards. So for me, I understand what the problem is and I'm addressing the problem. And next week, I'm going to hire some temporary people that I will guarantee to work 2 days a week. And then they will fill in the gaps because that's the big issue. And this is something that you will learn because I run a business with payroll and employees and I know what's going on in the marketplace. Your hardest thing is going to be hiring people. And right now people are like, looking for a job, right? I wrote a book, Permissionless Management, how to hire the right people and why most people shouldn't be hired. Let me say that again. Most people shouldn't be hired. You want to know why? Most people cannot follow simple instructions. They just can't. I don't know what it is, but they can't. And there's a smaller group of people who can. And that's who you should hire. And then we'll get into hiring. We'll be talking about the things you can set up. Because essentially, you have people who talk about business and hiring and stuff, like just hiring the perfect employee. It's not. One of the things that I look for is character. And people with really good character tend to make great employees. So that's one of the things I look at. So one of the things that you guys have got to understand with the power of AI, and hear me well, you can have a business that does $25,000 to $50,000 a month on a consistent base, 12 to 24 months in the future. It's not going to happen next month. It's not going to happen the month after. It's going to be in the future. But here's the thing. You got to do the work now. You got to do the work. Like I saw this video because I'm working out and I'm getting back into it. And he was talking about losing weight. And typically, if you're working out correctly, you should see you've lost weight within 7 days, right? but it's not going to be bam. It's going to be like a nudge here, a nudge here, a nudge here, a nudge here. Like right now, my shoulders are sore. Why? I did overhead press and I did dumbbell press. And then I did bench press. In the day, I did bent rows. Then I did pull downs and I did shoulder shrugs. So I'm sore right now. And tomorrow I do arms and I walk on the treadmill and then I work out. But my treadmill work is not intense, so it doesn't really bleed into the workout. But I'm doing that for heart health and stuff like that. But this is just my second week. I will look radically different. Let's see, second week, 10 more weeks in the future. I will look very, very different because I have something called muscle memory. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about you and you starting a business. Number one, you're scared, which is valid. You should be scared because you're going ahead and saying, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z in this business, and no one knows who I am. No one's ever heard of me. No one knows. Go ahead to the Google machine and Google the company Flood Brothers, Atlanta, Georgia. I remember when they got started. Bobby Flood went door to door, knocking on doors and talking to people. That's how they got started. Multi-million-dollar company now. So here's the thing. You're going to be scared, given valid concern. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Bad things are going to happen. Now, I got a question for you. Have you ever had any bad pussy? You ever had sex with a girl that the sex wasn't that great? Of course you have. Did you stop fucking? No, you didn't. You was like, I'm going to stop dealing with her and I'm going to get over here and get with her. So this is the same principle that you need to apply with business. All right, I was doing this thing. It wasn't working. So I'm going to move over here and do this new thing. Because once again, fear, scared. I need to really talk to you guys because here's something I can tell you from experience. Years ago, I used to work at Northside Hospital and I had to take care of patients. And early patients had this thing where they would get in this state of dementia and they would start talking about all the stuff that they didn't do. They wouldn't be talking about the mistakes that they made. They would be talking about their regrets. And there are many of you who want to start a business who will not. You're just not going to do it. You're too scared. You just don't feel you have what it takes. You're not going to do it. And then you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be 65, 75 years old. And you're going to wonder what would have happened if I started a business. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It doesn't have to be that way. But that's what's going to happen to the majority of you. Because you watch the videos, you consume the content, you're looking for an angle. You're looking for a shortcut. That's what you're looking for. And anything that sounds like an angle or a shortcut, you're all ears, right? But that's just not the way you're going to be long-term successful. I've not had to work a job since 1999. I've been self-employed or a business owner since then. That's 2009 is 10 years. 1999 is 20 years. So we're at 26 years of being a business owner, and you have seen the results. You've seen the Porsche, you've seen the Rolex. So it's possible for you to make money if you believe in yourself. I saw this clip with Rick Ross, and Rick had this saying, you got to be out there, you got to hustle. And he actually complimented the cameraman. He's like, just like you had the ability to come up and talk to me and mention, that's what you need in business. You cannot be a scared little bitch. Oh, like right now, there's people on Whatnot that are going to make $1 million this month. A group of people and people like really, you will see the majority of Whatnot videos talking about how hard it is. These people, number one, they got an inventory issue and they have a presentation issue. Now, what's that? I got a course on Whatnot that works, but you got to be fully staffed. That's the key. You have to be fully staffed. But one of the things that you have got to understand is you can be successful if you keep believing in yourself, no matter what. You have to believe in yourself. Now, this is one of the things. Now, I need to say this. When you get on this journey, Gary Vee talks about, building in public, talk about it. I totally disagree with that. Once you start your business, you should be moving like a ninja. You should keep your mouth closed except to people who can buy your product. Like, do not tell all your friends and family unless you're selling something that they can use. Do not tell them. Move in silence. Go out and get very comfortable talking to strangers, because your friends and your family, they buy your product. Once they're gone, you got to go out and talk to strangers. Start talking to strangers. I remember when I really became good at sales, because in the beginning I sucked and I lost a bunch of deals. And it hit me one day, because one of the things is I wanted to bring up the race car, because at the time there was there was 4 black salesmen in commercial office furniture in Atlanta back when I was selling. I was the 4th one. And I wanted to say, this could be a race issue. Then you know what? I humbled myself and I called up the people and I said, hey, this is Glendon Cameron. I lost a deal and I want to know why I lost the deal. Just tell me what I did wrong and I'll take you to lunch. And I started meeting these people, and I noticed that all of them started to say certain things over and over again. So what did I do? I took that out my package, threw it away, and then I started to do something else. Then I started to get sales. I remember my first month where I had 4 sales in a row. That month I made like $40,000. And it was like, oh, it was on and popping. It was on and popping. So you can get good at sales if you can listen, if you can learn, and if you let go of the hack shit. Like, I'm going to hack it, I'm going to figure it out. No, you're not. Because for all of the internet hacks, I got this question. If all of these internet hacks and all these quick ways to make money work, why do you have millions of people making videos on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook talking about how fucking poor they are? If all these hacks work, why are there millions of people talking about the price of eggs is absurd, rent's ridiculous, I'm waiting on a housing crash so I can buy a house? You have a large group of the public who are waiting on a crash. They want shit to go bad so they can afford a house. So if all these internet hacks worked, why are there so many poor people? Why are there so many people out here struggling? Why? If they worked, the question is, well, the answer is they don't work. But here's again, let me say this again. If you believe in yourself, I'm going to tell you a dirty story, and I'm going to leave the sexual details out because some of you pussies just get so disturbed every time I talk about sex because you're not a ravaging heterosexual male. You're just a little bitch. But anyway, when I created the Craigslist protocols and I transitioned them over to get into the sexual underworld, quoting Ron Wills, I said in the beginning, I'm going to have some bad issues. There's going to be bad periods, but I said ultimately I was going to win. I had a written goal that I'm going to win with this process. In the beginning, it was shitty. I had people delete my ads. I had people bar. And then I just, once again, what did I do? I took out the bad stuff. I was like, okay, this isn't working. Take it out. And then I put in the good stuff. And I got to the point where I had about 50 ads that performed. The ads performed so well, people were stealing my ads. I saw one of my ads posted in London. People were coming to Atlanta to get my ads and literally just copied it and posted it in London. And my ads worked. I went through a period where I would wake up and I would literally have 20 to 30 women. Then I had to go through the filtering process. Hot or not? Oh, she's hot. She's not. She's hot. She's not. She's hot. She's not. And then I would work a funnel. 30 women, right? Can't fuck all 30. Hot, not. Will them down to 10. Then the 10, put them through the protocols. Oh, 5 didn't do the protocols. Throw them out. 5 did. And then I would get down to 1 or 2 women who would do exactly what I wanted. And that was how my Craigslist protocols. And it worked great because I would go through that process every fucking day. So let's look at it through this process. And then I would have 1 or 2 women every day, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. So let's go ahead and take this whole process and apply it to your sales methodology. If you begin the sales process and it sucks in the beginning, you're like, okay, I'm sucking for some reason. Let's pull that out and then keep the good stuff and keep going, keep going, keep going. And next thing you know, you're going to have a 20, a 30, a 40, a $50,000 month, and you're not going to recognize yourself. You're going to be in the brushing your teeth. It's like, who is this motherfucker? I like him. I like him. So if you want to start a business, if you're willing to believe in yourself through thick and thin and just keep going and keep going and keep going, this time next year, you could be driving the car you want to drive and go to the dealership and pay cash for it. You don't even have to worry about going to the bank and getting it financed. And then you put yourself in a position where in 2 or 3 years, you can pay cash for your house. This is a possibility. This is real stuff. If you're willing to do the work. If you're willing to do the work, this could be your life. You could be out there living that life, doing that and being that person. So once again, this video is coming out. It's February 28th. So let me explain to you what's going to happen. Right now, I have some options where you can get into the King program and get into the Royal Prince program. Tomorrow, those options disappear. And what I'm going to do is just put the Royal Prince program on the payment plan. It's going to be $250 a month. And it's going to be for like 36 months. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then, you know, if you want to pay cash and you go ahead and say, hey, man, I want that Prince program. All right, I'm going to tell you the price is probably $2,000, $2,500. And I'll send you an invoice to see if you pay it. And then with the King program, it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a big thing for you getting the King program on Sunday. It's going to be a big thing. Because number one, let's go ahead and talk about the King program. Number one, there's an offer where you pay $6,500, you can get in the King program. But you need to have $10,000 to $20,000 after you spend that money, because you need money to start your first business. If you don't have money, it makes no sense for you to get in the King program, because you cannot perform the King program. You will be struggling. It makes no sense. So what you should do is get in the Royal Prince program and graduate. Go through the money management stuff. Bam, 1, start your first business. Bam, 2, start making some money. Then I've got an offer in there. It's in the course. Everyone that goes through the Royal Prince program can get in the King program for $10,000. Once again, you have a business, you're making money, you could easily afford this, regardless of what the price is for everyone that goes through the Royal Prince program. I'm going to leave it like that for the next 6 months. It may change, probably will change. But once again, the Royal Prince program is what the majority of you need, because the majority of you need to learn how to manage your money better. I can't scream it. And people keep listening to, not listening to me and saying all this crazy stuff. But once again, if you are willing to do the work, you can be that successful man or woman in 2027 and then 2028 and 2029 and 2030 and so on and so forth, if you're willing to do the work. So we're going to see, and I'll be realistic. I would be surprised if I got 10 of y'all this last day. I would be surprised, because here's the thing. Many of you are listening to the fake internet narratives and completely disregarding the fact that they don't work. Well, it's possible. How's it possible? There's a guy who calls Atlanta Resale or something, and he's in the storage auction game. And he thought that getting advice from Anton Daniels was better than getting advice from me, a guy who wrote a book about storage auctions, because he got caught up in that rah-rah stuff. A nurse, I went to the nurse with a plan. He didn't want to hear that plan because he's caught up in that rah-rah stuff. So there's people who are stupid that will go toward internet-driven narratives and ignore the real world. And literally, This nurse, he could have been making $1 million this time next year. Don't want to do it. He wants to be a YouTuber. He wants to be a YouTuber. All right. And that's something else too. I got a course now. It's the Intellectual Property School, where I can teach people how to do YouTube, how to create online courses, how to write books, and make a lot of money. But once again, it's work. It's work. It ain't easy. It's work. So right now, for those of you who are really, I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to make you a deal of a deal. See who watches this whole video to the end. Everyone that buys the Royal Prince program, I will automatically enroll you in Intellectual Property School. But you have to enroll today to get that deal. The deal is off on the 1st of March. So you don't enroll today, you don't get the deal. So everyone that enrolls today gets the Intellectual Property School as well as the Royal Prince program. Links are below. So, and I'll say it in the first comment, and we will see who shows up.